Hello, Brigadiers and Brigadettes and hockey fans alike. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to my channel. Now let's jump into some hockey content. Hello everybody, we're continuing on with the series of our previews for our 31 NHL teams that we all love and cannot get frustrated by at all. Just joking there. But anyway, yes, this is pre-recorded because I'm visiting family. So this was filmed on the 29th and came out on the 3rd. And let's remember that I do not hate the San Jose Sharks. I'm just going to be honest about what direction I think this team's headed. Now, the first question is going to be, can the Sharks even turn it around? I think, honestly, that honesty is something that you should use at all times. And I'm going to be honest with you, the Sharks will not make the playoffs and will probably be in the bottom half of the standings this year. There's a multitude of reasons for this, so let's just dive in and talk about what all those reasons are. And really today, due to time constraints, we're just going to talk about two reasons. The first, which is reason number one, is that the Sharks are in salary cap hell. And if I'm being honest here, which again I said is a good thing, it's completely San Jose's fault, nobody else's. They've handed out some very questionable contracts over the years, and now it's coming back to bite them in the butt. And again, it's nobody else's fault but San Jose's management. And I think that part of the problem is that the Sharks were thinking they were closer to contention than they really were. I think the 2015 run to the Stanley Cup Finals, or the Conference Finals, what did I say? The 2015 Stanley Cup Finals run and the 2019 Conference Finals run didn't help that perception. They were a team that was going to beat, whatever they thought they could do. I don't know. The thing is, San Jose was not going to beat an Eastern Conference team in the Stanley Cup Finals. They weren't going to beat Pittsburgh in 2016. And they weren't going to beat the Bruins in 2019. It just wasn't going to happen. So I think that's part of the problem is they handed out these long-term big money contracts because they thought they were a lot closer than they really were. The second reason is that the contracts, again, were big money long-term contracts, but the thing is they either have a no movement clause or a modified no trade clause. Basically, they shot themselves in the foot, and if a player's, playing long-term and they're getting paid a lot and they're getting, that healthy contract and they start playing poorly, it's not going to help the team out at all because the contracts, have to be protected. You can't trade them, and even if it's a modified no trade clause, it goes for an extended period of time. It limits who you can trade them with. It limits buyouts, stuff like that, for periods of time. And, it really just shoots the team in the foot in terms of, their power. So, like I said, it basically strips the team of any power that they had at all, especially with the no movement clause. And there's a bunch of other reasons why the Sharks are in this position. But like I said, we just do not have the time to go over all the things that the Sharks have done wrong the past few years. I guess the Sharks could hypothetically turn around this franchise, but I'm going to be honest, it's going to take everything to go exactly right. So the second question is going to be, can Burns and Karlsson turn it around? It's no secret that Burns and Karlsson have had some down years compared to their standards, and if the Sharks actually do want to turn it around, they're going to have these two bounce back big time. It doesn't help this team really does rely on these two to provide a crazy amount of their offense from the blue line, but here we are. It happens, I guess. Burns really doesn't provide much defensive value, so the fact that he had a down year offensively negatively impacts the team so much. I won't say that Burns is all to blame here. I do think part of it was his teammates not finishing, but his points totals did drop significantly, and he's got to get those back up because the Sharks rely on him so much as a playmaker. His scoring has really just tailed off the past 3 seasons. Basically, he's not scoring as many goals as he was before when he scored, 27 and 29 in those 2 seasons. I do like the fact he's not shooting the puck as much anymore because I think that was hurting him and the team. If he's not going to be scoring at a high rate, then they shouldn't, let him just keep firing away. And he would shoot over 300 shots in a season. Now, like I said, if Burns can be a playmaker, score 15 goals, 45 assists, I think that would really help out the Sharks big time. And, 60 points a season I think would be pretty good for him to get back to. And then we'll leave it at that. He's going to have to figure it out. Now, for Karlsson, he's got to find a way to score goals consistently again. There was a 3-year stretch where Karlsson had 57 goals in that span. And honestly, he just needs to get back to scoring like 15 goals in a season while also dishing out the puck. He was a goal-scoring machine in Ottawa. And towards the back end, it seemed like he couldn't really score goals. Since he's been with San Jose, he doesn't score goals. I know he's taking less shots, but still. And again, I know he's dealt with some injuries, but he's going to have to play better because he is getting paid too much to fall back on excuses. This year could really show what the future holds for the Sharks with Karlsson's contract. And if his point per game totals don't go up and his scoring doesn't go up, it could be a really long 7 years till his contract is up. Because I'm pretty sure he's got a no movement clause on that. He's not going anywhere, and that's part of the problem. These contracts are just yikes. And again, the San Jose Sharks have to be one of the most reliant teams on their blue line to supply their offense. And they're getting paid a lot. And it's just a mess. And again, I don't hate the Sharks. I'm not a massive fan of the Sharks. But looking at this, it's just like, how did a team get here to where they just handed out all these terrible contracts? I don't know. And then the third and final question, can Dubnyk and Jones turn around this team? Can this tandem be anything good? Well, Devin Dubnyk struggled last year on a team that was pretty good defensively in Minnesota, and the Sharks are taking a cheap gamble. I guess there's nothing wrong with that he'll be able to bounce back. Now, the thing that I think is really weird here is, I don't know about you. I don't. But I don't think I'd expect a 34-year-old goalie that played on a good defensive team to come over and play and turn things around on a team that struggled last year. I just don't get where that's coming from. Sure, whatever. Now, the main issue here is that the Sharks were the 8th worst team in allowing high danger chances against last year. And Devin Dubnyk was one of the worst goalies when it came to high danger save percentage last year. What could go wrong, am I right? The team that allows an insane amount of high danger chances, and a goalie that can't, save a puck for his life when it's a high danger chance to... It's just a mess, honestly. I just don't even know where to begin with this team. And then you got the Martin Jones issue. They were expecting him to be the guy. They signed him to this big, nice, shiny contract. Seems like in San Jose they love to do that. And last year, 5-on-5 play atrocious. Not all of it's on him, but at the end of the day, he was expected to give up 70 goals last year. 70. For 5-on-5 play. He ended up giving up 93. 93. Yep. Did I mention that he's got a modified no-trade clause, so it's really hard to move him? Does that sound familiar? If you look at these contracts, I mean, I could go on a rant. This could probably be an hour-long video if I didn't stop myself about what San Jose is doing wrong. I think that if he has a really bad year, they could either buy him out, don't want to do that, or I guess if they really want to do this isn't a sexy option either, but it's a potential move. They could send a high pick to Seattle and let them take him in the expansion draft. It's going to be... They're going to have to give a good pick to Seattle if that happens, because nobody's going to take on that ugly contract and that terrible play. I don't have anything against these guys. I don't hate the Sharks. In fact, most of these players I liked at one point. Dubnyk, Jones, Burns, Karlsson. I really did like all these guys. And Jones I've been defending for some time now, but... wow. This is just a team that's probably just going to keep getting worse in the next few years. Sharks fans, all I can say is I'm going to be praying for you, because you're going to need some prayer. And if you're religious, pray. And then if you're not religious, I guess just cuss at the TV. Or if you are religious and you cuss at the TV, that happens too. Anyway, sorry for such an intense video. I expect this probably to be my worst video when it comes to thumbs down. Again, I don't have anything against the Sharks. It just is what it is. Everybody stay safe from COVID. Have a great day. And again, I apologize for such a harsh video, but it just gets me fired up looking at what went wrong with this team. Again, stay safe from COVID. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe, by the way. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes, and hockey fans in general. This is your captain signing off. Have a great week.